Hey guys, Sarah here with Room for Tuesday. Today, Emmett is going to show you how to install floor tile. It's a lot simpler than you might expect. And this is the tile we've selected for our kitchen. It's a large format field tile and it's pretty easy, so let's get started.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to lay tile. We've already got the subfloor replaced. We've got the backer board laid down, so now we're just going to jump right into laying tile. The first step is to lay out your tile and mock it up so that you don't end up with any odd size pieces. So once your tile is mocked up, the next step is going to be mixing the mortar before you start laying the tile. I usually mix it in a 5-gallon bucket, and I only mix enough that I can work with for about 15 minutes at a time. The size of the square notches in the trowel is going to be dependent on what kind of tile you're using. Each manufacturer recommends different sizes. For large field tile, 1/4 by 1/4 by 1/4, or in this case, 1/4 by 3/8 by 1/4. Backer board installation instructions say to use an alkali resistant fiberglass mesh to tape the seams. This prevents movement and ultimately helps keep your tile from cracking. I like to use a simple square flat trowel to scoop my mortar out, and then I use the notch trowel to spread it around. I'm using a laser line to keep my tile in a straight line. The key is you want to lay it down and drop it into place. You don't want to slide it into place. And then give it a nice firm little wiggle and put it into place, put your spacers in, and you'll be good to go. I'm using a spacer that actually goes underneath of the tiles, and then a little wedge goes in on top to keep them level and flush on the top. Continue this process row after row until your room is completely done, and then we'll give it a day, and then we'll start grouting. Hey guys, we're back again today. We just finished up tiling yesterday. The tile has sat for about 24 hours, and now we are going to clean the grout lines. The first time I did a tiling project, I actually used a screwdriver, but since then I found a couple tools that make cleaning the grout lines a little bit easier. One is a hard plastic brush, a carbide tipped grout saw, and a metal scraper. So when you lay the tile, sometimes if you get a little too much mortar underneath, it'll push up between the grout lines. This needs to be cleaned out before you lay the grout. So sometimes a hard brush is enough to get it cleaned out. This scraper has a little triangle piece on it that can scrape out the grout fairly easy. And then on the really hard spots you have a grout saw that you can actually slide between and get everything really clean. Next, we're ready to mix the grout with a couple of buckets, some water, and the drill attachment. For this part of the process, we are going to use a rubber float. This is going to prevent scratching the tile as you spread the grout, and the whole idea here is to push the grout in as deep as possible into the grout lines. So during this process, the goal is to push the grout into the void as far as possible. Once you think you have that accomplished, you're going to scrape the excess off of the area that you're working on by just angling the float a little bit, and it pulls really easily and it pulls all the excess off. Okay, we just finished spreading the grout. It's going to look like this. We're going to go wait 15-20 minutes and we're going to come back with a damp sponge and start cleaning it very carefully. So after about 20 minutes, the grout will haze over and turn a little white. At this point, you want to use a soft sponge with a bucket of water, and what you want to do is try to squeeze out as much water as possible. So you want the sponge to be as dry as possible so it doesn't wash the grout out of the grout line. We're back the next day after first grouting. We've cleaned it once with a sponge, and the purpose of that was to smooth out the grout, not really to clean the tile. I waited about 1 hour after that. After everything hazed over, we cleaned it again, and then I usually wait about 24 hours to clean it a third time, and that time I'm just trying to get all the excess grout cleaned off of it. From this point, the tile is pretty much clean. I'm going to let it sit for about 3 days with minimal traffic, and then I'm going to apply a sealer, which is a 511 impregnator sealer. I'm just going to wipe it on with a rag on all the grout lines, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to move our stuff back into the kitchen.
Thanks so much for watching our tutorial. If you liked the video and thought it was helpful, subscribe to our channel. There will definitely be more home improvement videos to come. We've had requests for backsplash tile, so we'll definitely try to fit that in. Or if you would like a different home improvement tutorial, leave us a comment below and we'll try to tackle that next. Thanks so much.